Question 1 asks us to identify the characteristics of monopolistic competition. Monopolistic competition is a form of imperfect competition where there are many buyers and sellers with low barriers to entry that sell products that are similar but not identical, meaning they are not perfect substitutes for one another. The question asks, the coffee industry is a typical example of monopolistic competition. We know this because the article states there, A is a high level of competition in the industry with low barriers to entry and with each coffee business selling the same type of coffee. This answer is wrong. While high levels of consumption and low barriers to entry are characteristic of monopolistic competition, each business selling the same type of coffee is uncharacteristic of monopolistic competition. This answer actually describes a perfectly competitive market. B is a low level of competition in the industry with medium barriers to entry and with each coffee business selling coffee that differs in quality. This answer is also wrong. This answer states low competition and medium barriers to entry, both of which are uncharacteristic of monopolistic competition. However, having each business sell coffee of differing quality is characteristic of monopolistic competition. C is a low level of competition in the industry with high barriers to entry and with each coffee business selling coffee that differs in quality. Much like answer B, this is incorrect as monopolistic competition is characterized by high levels of competition and low barriers to entry. However, this answer is characteristic of monopolistic competition as it states that each business sells coffee of different quality. Hence, answer D is correct. Answer D states that the competition in the coffee industry is high. This is a characteristic of monopolistic competition, where a market should have many buyers and sellers. It also states that the barriers to entry are low, another characteristic of monopolistic competition, which should have free entry. Additionally, it states that each firm sells coffee that differs in quality. This is also a characteristic of monopolistic competition, where the products are similar but not identical, making it imperfect competition. Hence, answer D is the correct answer. Question 2. The article states that Starbucks had to close down many of its Australian stores as they were unable to compete with the Australian palette. Suppose that an individual coffee supplier was in long-run equilibrium before Starbucks closed its stores. Which graph would best represent the individual coffee supplier's situation in the short run after Starbucks closed its stores? Assume the individual coffee supplier is profit maximizing. The black lines represent the original long-run equilibrium. The red lines represent the short-run impact of Starbucks leaving the coffee industry. Question 2 asks us which graph represents the short-run effect of Starbucks, a major producer, leaving the market. If a major producer leaves the market, the demand for that producer's product would be absorbed by other firms in the market. Hence, the demand curve for each individual supplier would increase. By this concept, answers A and B are eliminated, as they show a decrease in demand for individual coffee suppliers. Answer D shows an increase in demand identical to that of answer C. However, answer D shows a short-run effect such that marginal cost is equal to demand. Since this is not the profit maximizing quantity, and the question states that the individual coffee supplier is profit maximizing, this is not the correct answer. Answer C shows a short-run effect such as marginal cost curve and marginal revenue curve meet, which is the profit maximizing quantity. Hence, answer C is correct.
Question 3. In the article, Rob indicates that local operators are able to compete with larger chains through the use of value-added offerings such as customer loyalty cards or coffee and meal specials. What degree of price discrimination would you best describe this as? Answer A, first degree, refers to perfect price discrimination, when a firm charges the maximum possible price for each unit. This is incorrect as customer loyalty cards and coffee meal specials do not apply to each unit of production. Additionally, these concepts make it cheaper for consumers, hence the firm is not charging the maximum price for each unit. Answer B, second degree, refers to when a firm charges different prices for different quantities of product. This is incorrect as second degree price discrimination applies when products are cheaper when you buy more, for example, bulk buying. A loyalty card or coffee and meal deal wouldn't make the product cheaper as you buy more. Answer C, third degree, refers to when a firm charges different prices to different consumer groups. This is correct as it provides different prices to different customers. Customers who purchase that firm's products regularly will be rewarded with lower prices to their customer loyalty card. Similarly, customers that purchase more of that firm's products will be rewarded with lower prices in the form of a coffee and meal deal. Question 4. In the article, Rob indicates that local operators are able to compete with larger chains through the use of value-added offerings such as customer loyalty cards or coffee and meal specials. What other types of price discrimination could coffee establishments use? One example is student and pension discounts. Coffee establishments could raise higher revenue by issuing a discount to students and pensioners. These particular age demographics have a lower willingness to pay due to their lower levels of disposable income. The aim of this strategy would be to accumulate additional revenue from customers with a low willingness to pay who otherwise would not purchase the product, while still maximizing the producer surplus with people with a high willingness to pay. This is an example of third-degree price discrimination, as it involves charging different prices to different age demographics. Another strategy to increase revenue is the introduction of a happy hour. This involves charging lower prices at off-peak times to attract more customers. Firms can reduce prices so that the profit from existing customers, in addition to the profit of new customers stemming from lower prices, exceeds that of the profit gathered from existing customers paying full price. This allows firms to achieve higher profits during off-peak times while still using profit maximization strategies at peak times. This is an example of third-degree price discrimination, as it means charging different prices to people who shop at different times. Another example is the use of memberships. Cafes can launch a membership program that customers can sign up to in order to claim rewards for their continued patronage. This would not only ensure that customers stay loyal to the firm, but would also increase the frequency at which they purchase products, as the more products they buy, the more rewards they receive. This is an example of third-degree price discrimination, as it involves charging different prices to people who sign up to the membership program. Location pricing. Location pricing involves charging different prices in different locations, in spite of the fact that the per unit production cost is the same. This can be based on various factors. The first factor is convenience. Coffee shops located in an area with high levels of foot traffic may charge higher prices, as consumers may have a higher willingness to pay due to the convenience of the location, whereas a coffee shop located in a somewhat inconvenient location may have to charge lower prices to attract business. Another factor is socioeconomic conditions. Cafes located in high socioeconomic locations can charge higher prices due to their willingness to pay resulting from a larger disposable income, whereas cafes located in lower socioeconomic areas may have to charge lower prices to accommodate for the lower incomes of the community in which it is situated. This is an example of third-degree price discrimination, as it involves charging different prices to people who live in certain areas.